Economics. So what's this have to do with economics? Well, a lot. Private property is a key plank in the Christian economic belief system. But obviously, it's taking the idea way too far to think that an individual has the freedom to change their gender. We believe that's a part of the creational order that I just talked about, and we do not have the power to change that. Now, secondly, there's also the idea of markets. America has a market for religion, says Benjamin Friedman in his book, Religion and the Rise of Capitalism. During colonial times, we didn't. There were state churches. Some pesky Baptists wanted to cross into those states to preach, so they appealed to Thomas Jefferson, who wrote the famous line in a letter about the separation of church and state to those Baptist pastors. So since then, we've had a highly competitive market for religion in America that has actually favored Christianity. That's because the Christian worldview of creation, fall, redemption is really the way the world works. Where does expressive individualism fit in? It doesn't. It's not only way out in left field, it's beyond the bleachers in left field. It's just not consistent with reality. Let me quote Truman again. Quote, "The ancient Athenian was committed to the assembly, the medieval Christian to his church, and the 20th century factory worker to his trade union and working man's club. All of them found their purpose and well-being by being committed to something outside themselves. In the world of psychological man," Truman continues, "the commitment is first and foremost to the self and is inwardly directed," end quote. See, that's what Truman calls expressive individualism. In response to a recent article by Truman in the Wall Street Journal, someone wrote, quote, "Church is not relevant to me nor many of my friends," end quote. I responded, "Oh, so it's all about you, hey? Isn't it?" See, this is so clear. Serving yourself makes you unhappy. Serving others makes you happy. That's why one of my most often stated phrases about Christian economics is, if you love your neighbor, you will supply her with products and services she demands. If you love yourself, you'll make a profit while doing so. Note that Truman is making an accurate description of the current world, where people only serve themselves in what he calls expressive individualism.